Se me ha ocurrido algo, Gaby, y quiero que te lo tomes en serio.
Sí.
¿Sí? Bueno, es sobre mi paciente.
Todo el mundo tiene secretos.
Es la tercera sesión que falta sin avisar, Paula.
I knew that I wanted to make a real French film that was independent, that was an auteur film. I didn't want to do some big, giant co-production. I really wanted to make a singularly French film. And I was hoping that it would be something that felt as intellectual as it was emotional. So there you go. I found it in this script. And sometimes, you know, you read something and you love it and you don't really know why, and then later many things reveal themselves to you. And I think that the more that time went on, I feel like in some ways it was a movie for my mom, who loved France, loved everything European, everything French. We had a Peugeot growing up, but had never left the United States. She'd never traveled anywhere. And one day, once she took a bus trip in France, she came back and she said, that's it, you know, we're gonna move to France, you're gonna be a French actor. And she reinvented her life there. You know, she ended up living there for a good portion of her life after that, and became part of the culture. Well, I don't know if I consider myself a French actor. I hope someday I could be a French actor. I guess I discovered that there's a part of me that comes from my education, my French education, that is unlike anything that I am in English. The character of Lillian Steiner is kind of unsure of herself, and maybe slightly more vulnerable and slightly more frustrated and neurotic in ways that I don't usually have that experience on screen, but I think it's something about not being sure of myself in the language. You know, I don't know that you really prepare, right? You just read a script, you love it, and you try to interpret it, and you try to serve the director's vision. You know, Rebecca is a very singular filmmaker, and we were good collaborators, so I was, you know, excited to help her execute the movie that she wanted. And that meant doing things a little differently. You know, we do things differently in France than we do in America. It was great. I came to the set, you know, about 3 weeks before shooting, and I just wanted to immerse myself in the language. I didn't want to speak English. I just wanted to get here and just, you know, walk in the streets and go to the gym and do all those things in French. And then it was just a great experience, I think, to just forget everything at home and just, you know, just to be here and be in the present moment. We went to a bunch of psychiatrists, psychoanalysts, psychiatrists. They're two separate things, but we visited various ones. And I came out being fascinated and also realizing I never wanted to do psychoanalysis. Well, I don't know about midlife crisis, but spiritual crisis for sure. I think spiritual crisis is just an incredibly rich thing for me that I'm interested in. You know, why you wake up one day and you say, I can't do this anymore and I want to change. Or what is life for? What is the meaning of life? And, you know, why did I make these choices? How did I get here? All those questions for me are very rich and important. And especially as a director, I feel like those are the themes that I revisit over and over again. Well, it's big changes. So I've been working for 60 years in the film industry, and when I first started, you know, in the 1960s, there were no film directors in America, really, very few. There were in Europe, but not in America, so I never saw any women. There were no technicians either, so sometimes there would be a script supervisor or a makeup artist, but that was about it. It was just me and a bunch of guys, and wonderful men who taught me everything, you know, fathers and brothers who really taught me everything, so I'm very grateful for that. But it was nice when women came in, and it was a much more diverse and real community. I think it was nice for the men too, that they were able to feel, when they were on set, they were able to feel like it was like real life. But that didn't happen till really just recently, only in the last 20 years. I don't know, I hope not. I hope that movies will continue to be a place that people can go to see the truth, and to ask questions, and to look at socio-political questions, and to believe in, you know, to believe in humanism. So I hope that that's always a place that we inhabit in filmmaking. I think it has to do with age. I think that the 50s were really hard when I was 50. You know, you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, or you're supposed to be competing with some old idea of yourself, and you know, but you know perfectly well that you can't climb that mountain as well as you did before, or you can't be on that cover of the magazine, or you know, you have crow's feet, and so there's this. You just feel like you're always losing, like you're trying to keep up with something that's not real. But when I turned 60, I feel like that all changed. I feel like I suddenly didn't care. And I felt like I just had very little time ahead of me, and I wanted to make sure that I was the happiest that I could be, and I wasn't interested in a bunch of drama anymore. So that I think I'm doing the best work of my life, and I think I'm the happiest when I'm working now. I don't think I was as happy when I was young. I think I was always like, it's not good enough, it's not good enough. There was a lot of anxiety that I don't have.
Sé lo que vi, su doble vida, la herencia a la mujer.
Me jodisteis la adolescencia con vuestra separación y todo para...